Since my boy Tyler1 got challenger, you might be asking, who is Dopa? Because Tyler1 is saying Dopa down. Dopa is known as the best player in the world, but apparently he got banned for 1,000 years. And the question is, why? What did he do that he got banned for 1,000 years? So let's see the quick short documentary from Exil.
Thank you to Twitch for sponsoring today's video. Unless you've been living under a rock for a very long time, Twitch is a live streaming interactive platform where you can get a deeper experience with all of the games that you love and enjoy playing.
Since when is Twitch sponsoring YouTube videos?
As well as, of course, watching. You can connect with other creators, like-minded players, and just people that you want that awesome sense of community with. You can see all types of streamers on Twitch. Maybe you're like me and you always want to get better at League of Legends and see how you can improve, and no other place has more high-ranked and high-elo players than Twitch. You can tune into any Grandmaster or Challenger stream and learn so much from seeing how they play. With the new League of Legends season just starting in the last couple of days, there's no better time than right now to start learning how to improve and watch streamers on Twitch.
Actually true, there's a bazillion of streamers who are Grandmaster Plus in League of Legends category right now. That's actually true. But the problem is that they have less than 5 viewers. So best of luck finding them. Because in Twitch you'll have to go to the very bottom. It'll take you forever to find them.
Right now, there are a lot of fun and exciting things happening with streamers. A bunch of League streamers are trying out other roles, and it really helps put into perspective how we can all improve, how we can all get better, and even seeing Challenger players kind of struggle in lower brackets on their off role can really put
Skip sponsor match, never.
Into perspective how much better we can all do with practice. If you're looking for a new type of energy...
Not because of the honor, well actually it is, but imagine I skip the sponsor and Twitch is going to ban me. Think about it. Way too much to lose here, bro. Not worth it.
Entertaining stream on Twitch, check out Tyler1 playing jungle, Chase Shaco, Forest Within, and Tarzan learning ADC. Watch all of these guys play their off role because it's not only extremely funny, but very interesting to see too. If you weren't already convinced, now you should be, so go check out twitch.tv.
Hold on, give me a second. What was that? Milestones. Duo 1 game with E-Girl. $500. What? $1,000. ADC Ivor in 1 game. What? $2,500. No abilities, 1 game. 5,000. Mouse only, no keyboard. $10,000. Is that what we need to do?
Already convinced, now you should be. So go check out twitch.tv League of Legends streams using the link in the description down below that I have.
You know what? I'll do one better. I can play mouse only, no keyboard. He says 5,000. I'll do it for $50. Chat. I'm just that good. $50, I'll play a game, mouse only, no keyboard. Chat, anyone?
Already convinced, now down below that I have linked. And one more time, thank you very much for the sponsor. In the last video, we took a look at League of Legends' all-time greatest player, FAKER. You would be in the vocal majority by saying that FAKER is the best we've ever seen. And
No.
rightfully so. He has earned that title. FAKER is a multi-time world champion, an MSI champion. He's won multiple esports awards. He's an innovator of many different mid-lane strategies. FAKER is well-liked. He's a respectable pro. He's world-class, and everybody knows it. But nobody else is better than him, right? Probably not. However, there is a group of League of Legends players that might disagree. Not that they think FAKER isn't the best that we've seen at the professional level, but rather there is a solo queue player who is the better player, Apdo. Apdo is thought by some to be the best League of Legends player of all time, despite never competing in a proper tournament, despite not winning or playing in a professional league, despite never winning a world championship, MSI, or anything at a professional 5v5 level.
The question is, why Dopa didn't go pro? That is the question.
For Apdo, or Dopa, to be thought of that highly while essentially only ever playing from the comfort of his own home and in his own chair, there must be some pretty unbelievable stories about him. Today, we're going to take a look at the craziest stories of all time from Apdo and understand why some would say that he's the greatest of all time.
Rank 1 Chinese super server, by the way. Yeah, it was because I went on vacation, chat. That's why he took my spot, you know? I went on vacation with my boys. I didn't play in 3 days, so he took it over, you know? It is what it is. Dopa once said he got more money from coaching than from being a pro. Yeah, going back to the old video, what I was talking about, bro. Esports just doesn't pay.
A pretty big misconception about Apdo is that he simply chose to not go pro because he was lazy, or hated other pro players, or was simply jealous because no teams wanted to sign him. To clarify why Apdo never went professional,
What do you mean no one want to sign him? He's the best, bro. Why wouldn't you want to sign him?
we need to travel back a few years. He first came onto the Korean challenger scene around 2012 and 2013, and at the time Korean pros were not paid very well. Remember, League was still a very new game to the Koreans and in general across the world.
Yeah, back in that time, if you wanted to make money in Korean esports, all you have to do is play StarCraft and be fucking good at it. That's it.
Which meant that pros were looking at around a minimum wage salary at best, maybe only slightly better. In Korea, their server was not launched until years after the Western ones, so the scene was still slightly behind for that reason, but regardless, the money just wasn't there.
Yeah, that's the only reason Europe managed to win World Championship. Koreans didn't play them. And of course, naturally, because we're better than any, but it is what it is.
While looking back at 2012, sure, given how successful League of Legends is now, Apdo maybe should have gone pro. Who knows if he would have or could have been FAKER, a multi-time world champion, someone who will go down as one of the best ever, but hindsight is always 2020. Although South Koreans have dominated the esports market, the country does take esports just as seriously as us Westerners do take our football. For Apdo, the choice just didn't make sense at the time. He was still in college. He wants
The same as Westerners take football. I refuse to believe that. There's no fucking way FAKER is being paid as much as Messi or Ronaldo, you know? Just saying.
alleged that he was able to fully pay off his college tuition with the money that he made, not by being a pro, but by doing something else, which was elo boosting. No one in their right mind would condone the actions of boosting, nor would I ever say that it is a good thing.
From silver 1 to gold 5, yeah, back in the day when we had glorious 5 different divisions. Hold on. So you're a bronze 5, you want to go through to bronze 4, 15 bucks. Actually, let's imagine you are an amazing player, you are number 1 player. You can win, depends on the accounts in Bamar, but let's say 4 to 5 games. You also have promotionals. You also have promos, you have to play promos between ranks, no? You have to win 3 ranks, 2 out of 3 games. Yeah. That's what we had. You had to win 2 out of 3 games to go to bronze 4 from bronze 5. If you want to go from bronze 1 to silver 1, what is the silver? Yeah, you have to win 3 games out of 5. Jesus Christ, my memory is slipping. Look at the money in here. From bronze 5 to bronze 2, 52 bucks. From bronze 5 to bronze 1, 70 bucks. Now to think about it, that's easily achievable in 1 day. Easily you can do it in 1 day, assuming your MMR isn't very fucked. If it is, still. And now take the circumstances where you're living in Vietnam, for example, you know, where daily expenses are rather cheap. So with 70 bucks a day, bro, you can live a good life.
Nor would I ever say that it is a good thing. Certainly elo boosting is not good for this game. However, more often than not in 2020, players have sort of accepted that this is going to happen. It's been happening for a very long time, and Riot really has no way of stopping it. While this is completely against the rules of the game, and both the booster and the account that was boosted do run the risk of being banned, the money, if you were a good enough player, was unmatched. For Apdo, well, he was the best booster, period. He could climb to Challenger the fastest with the best win rates. He was the best player in the best solo queue region, and nobody else could match his skills. Even though he had stated multiple times that the money was too good for boosting to go pro, he did eventually realize that his skills were not being tested. Apdo was so good that despite running a boosting service, he was still able to compete at rank 1 challenger anytime that he wanted. He was just that good. He would play on Smurfs, rank them up and sell them, and then other players might take his rank 1 spot during that time, but then he would jump back on his main account and climb right back to rank 1.
So you want to tell me that Dopa, my boy, is literally smurfing on Korean challengers? Sounds like a bit of a skill issue, not gonna lie.
The other reason that he never went pro, other than money, was actually one that was out of his control.
What?
Which was conscription. South Korea...
Oh yeah, Korea, you have to go to the military. Yeah. You're kind of max. The question is that 1 year or 2 years? I feel like it's 2 years.
Still has mandatory military service for males ages 20 to 31. It is expected that all males join and do a certain amount of time. However, this can be postponed. The wiki page about South Korea's military is a little bit incomplete, but there is an interview with Apdo where he does mention the military multiple times. Back in 2013, he had an official farewell stream before he would join the military, but then he came back 3 days later because apparently his service was postponed.
Yeah, it will be happening like that. But imagine, I'm pretty sure there's a way to cheat the system. For example, you postpone it to the very end. When you are at the age of 30 or 31, what if at the age of 31, the last year when you can be recruited into military to do your service, what if you break your leg? What if? On accident. You know? Like Russians were on accident breaking their legs to avoid going to the slaughterhouse in Ukraine. What if, you know? What if? I'm pretty sure there is a way to break the system. Unless Koreans are slightly smarter than that and say, ah, well, f it, you know? You skip this year, we'll take you next year. 32. You're still coming back with us.
He thought he would have to serve on many different occasions. Even if he wanted to go pro, he of course wouldn't be able to, but as far as I know through my research, he never actually went. Because of this, Apdo would then try to compete on Team Dark, who was a group of his friends and even had another challenger elo booster. They would play in some online tournament.
You break your leg yearly. Bro, the doctors hate this guy. Insurance companies hate this guy. Straight up, you break your leg annually. Oh, that was such an event.
Tournaments and nearly qualified for OGN Korea.
Question, how do you monetize this? What if you do it on stream? Every single year, the one who donates the most gets to pick away how you break a leg. Let's think about this.
Finally, Apdo was going to take the Korean League by storm. But as many of you might know, the story doesn't have a good ending for Apdo. Allegedly, a female fan of his asked for a boost and purchased his boosting service. This was a girl that was known for having some relationships with other pros. According to him, she wanted to have a romantic relationship with him, but he ignored her.
Apdo, Dopa, not a simp. He's a man that focus straight up giga chad. You paid him to boost you. He is boosting you. He's a professional, bro. He's a man of focus, commitment, and sheer fucking will, bro. Top G, straight up.
She would then make a post to Inven, which is thought to be around the Korean equivalent of our Reddit, and would be seen by thousands of people. She also would directly contact Riot Korea and told them to investigate him for his boosting service and look into his in-game behavior.
Oh no. Way, bro. That was his downfall. Just because he didn't have a romantic relationship with her. That was his downfall, bro. He was the greatest player League has ever seen. Oh my fucking god.
On top of boosting accounts, he was incredibly toxic and would often troll or intentionally lose games simply because he didn't like certain people.
Understandable. No, that he's not toxic. He's being a normal player in League of Legends, bro.
This would give Riot Korea enough information to finally take him down, and right before he was set and ready to turn pro,
Apdo banned until 3013 and removed from OGN LoL champ, wonder for elo boost, removed for Korea national LoL team as well. Bro, we're gonna be dead by that time.
Finally take him down, and right before he was set and ready to turn pro, Riot Korea would ban him from playing competitively for 2 years, and they would take away his main account Apdo and ban it for 1,000 years. At first, just taking away his Apdo account for 1,000 years doesn't seem like that big of a deal because
yeah, I mean, it happens to anyone, you know, it happens to everyone. Get banned right now, you can get banned tomorrow for 1,000 years. Just create a new account, you know? Unless that's an AD ban. Same one Tyler one had.
You can just get a different account.
Yep.
But this is a bigger deal than you might think because things work differently in
Oh yeah, that's Korea, by the way. His account is locked with his ID. Yeah, his
Korea. All Korean players get accounts by linking their social security number and their phone number. In order to create an account and play League of Legends on the Korean server, this is something that you must do.
Options 2. We have 2 options. Option number 1. Change server, yeah? Just change server. Option number 2. You just create a new social security number. No, just with the money you made from boosting, you buy a new identity. Definitely not Apdo. Problem solved.
This means that Apdo is technically able to play in Korea, but it is
I think in 2020 Worlds, Faker and some other Korean players had to serve the military, but they were been freed from it because they've been declared like a national athlete, and by some laws they are free from the servers. I think Dopa was a pro back then. He would dodge the servers. Oh yeah, sometimes that happens.
quote unquote illegal for him to do that. He must get the help of someone else and never reveal his identity. If Riot ever finds out that he is the one playing the account, they will ban it instantly. Because of this, Apdo has said on record that he would pay them a large sum of money, upwards of $100,000 to unban him, but to this day, he is still banned. Part of what
I'm pretty sure with $100K you can get new identity. I'm just saying, bro. Or hear me out, you move to a different region with $100,000, with $100K, yeah, 100K? Bro, you can start a life easily. And the other region, you know? Go to Romania, there's a top G villa, live next to top G with $100K, bro. You play in Europe. You become #1 in here. And you don't need to connect your fucking accounts to your fucking ID. You know? I'm just saying, bro. You can go far with 100K.
What makes him such an insane player is that in spite of these massive uphill battles, with the constant threat of being banned and shut down, he has still managed to hit rank 1 plenty of times ever since his ban. The crazy part is that in every single season he is pretty much able to hit rank 1 Korea. Nobody dominates the ladder like this, and nobody has been this consistently good for this long in solo queue.
Like I swear, he's just smurfing on Korean challengers.
But the best part is, this is not the only server that he's reached the top.
Yeah, we have Chinese super server as well.
Apdo has 2 awesome stories with China. Firstly, what's going on in this epic picture? What's with the plate of money? And why is he wearing a
Oh shit, that's money, bro. I thought that was a plate of sandwiches, you know? The one where you go to the wedding, there's a big plate. These are not sandwiches, apparently. This is money. Anyway.
suit? Apdo would go to China in order to compete in a solo queue challenge. The winner would be paid 500,000 won, the equivalent of $80,000.
Holy fucking shit, bro. 80 grand. We need to go to China, boys.
The goal? To reach rank 1 on the China server. It had to be done in a specific amount of time though. His climb would look like this. He began streaming on September 9th, and then 2 weeks later he was able to hit Master Tier. Over the next 7 days, he would eventually reach rank 1 challenger right around 1300 LP. He had done
3 weeks, by the way. 3 weeks. You start streaming, 3 weeks, rank 1. Chinese super server.
exactly what he set out to do in just a few weeks. But how about reaching rank 1 on not just a normal server, but what about what was dubbed the Super Chinese server?
Exactly.
For the last few years, there's been this Chinese server that is very exclusive, where in order to play on it, you must be high diamond or above in another server. This really
If you're a native, you have to be at least Grandmaster, by the way.
filters out the competition, making it so that you know you're going to be playing with people who are only in high elo. As you can imagine, this server was ridiculously competitive, and trying to climb even 1 win at a time was really tough. But for Apdo, it was just another day on the job.
China came out with a new server called it's like the super server. It's pretty much you have to be diamond 1 and above on the other servers to actually get an account on this server.
Yep.
And then so it just makes sure that the server is really good players. You're straight away high elo playing with good players rather than doing from the low to the high elo grind. So as you can see, his 1.5k LP, just let that sink in. It's when you look over to other servers, most players 1.2, 1.3k LP from rank 1. Apdo has actually had to hit 1.5k LP to overpass rank 2.
Jesus Christ.
As with anyone who is a cut above the competition, a little bit of burnout will be possible. For Apdo, one of his more famous interviews after hitting rank 1 Korea came with a few surprising lines. Back in 2017, PUBG was the new hit game that everyone loved. His love for the new popular game was taking a pretty big hit for the League of Legends focused brain that he has. The crazy part of the story is that Apdo was able to hold rank 1 Korea, play League of Legends full time, and still be very competitive at PUBG. His league account PubGosu held rank 1 for a very long time, while he would openly admit that he was completely addicted to playing PUBG. He would constantly talk about how he
League of Legends became a fucking side quest for a guy and he was still #1. Cool.
wanted to get better at League of Legends. That way his challenger games at rank 1 would go quicker, that way he could go play PUBG sooner. And after hitting rank 1, he would think to himself, ah, what a relief, I can finally go play PUBG. When looking at a world-class player like the Shy, he is one of, if not the best top laners in the world. He dominates top lane, he controls and manages his lane better than anyone, and for top lane champion pools, it feels like that anything he can play is going to be world-class. For professionals, they are going to be gods at their role. It is not really expected for someone to be able to play more than one role at this high level of competition. FAKER is the best player in the world, but no criticism of FAKER includes the fact that he can only play mid lane, God forbid. It has never been in T1 strategy to just randomly throw FAKER on support one game. But if Apdo was a pro, he may have been able to do that.
The sick thing about Apdo is he can play practically every single role in the game and be good enough to get accounts super high up in Challenger. Now that's not even the case for FAKER. In general, FAKER is a god at mid lane, obviously, he's the best player of all time. But beyond mid lane, yeah, he plays jungle pretty well, he has like a couple of other roles he can play. Apdo can play essentially every role. That's how fantastic he is. And in fact, famously, he is known as a mid laner. He's known as a godlike mid laner, particularly for his TF and Rise, etc. But actually, this is a guy where he is unbelievable at jungle as well. If you watch him play that, it's so clear that his understanding of the game is very unique.
Honestly, now that we're talking about the fact that he's good at every single role, would love to see him climb to Challenger in every single role in NA. If Tyler won't manage to do it, I'm just curious how many hours it would take Dopa to reach Challenger in every single role in NA.
His fundamental understanding of this game is nearly unmatched. Who else do you know that can essentially hold high Korean Challenger playing jungle, mid, top, support, and ADC?
Tyler won, but in NA. But that's like silver in Korea.
Apdo considers himself the best player in the world, right along with FAKER. He has said multiple times that FAKER is the best because he invented so many mid lane techniques that he's able to learn from and then copy, like where to ward, how to ward, and what items to buy. Also, he says that FAKER is the best player because he's the only one that is able to match him in lane and actually lane against him. Essentially, he considers the FAKER matchup a 50-50 between him and FAKER because it's going to be a coin flip.
Nice.
Apdo says he's confident, but not cocky, because a truly great player will understand just how good he is, because skill is always relative. But one thing that is extremely interesting that I want to leave off to end this video that might be a bit of an open-ended discussion is why does Apdo say that he was just born this way, and that some people have it and others don't? You may know my thoughts on talent versus hard work. In the video that I did with Busioc, who is a 15-year-old challenger player, we talked about hard work versus natural born skill. I believe the equation to be somewhere near the 80-20 or even 90-10 mark, meaning that the natural talent that you're born with makes around 10 to 20% of your skill, and the rest of the 80 or 90% is how hard you work and how much you practice.
I'd say it's less. I'd say it's even less than talent, bro. Talent is overrated, highly overrated. It's all about the work, straight up. I saw the documentary, it was about some ninja kids. There was one ninja in green uniform, funny eyebrows. He didn't have any talent, he was very weak, but he was working 24/7, he became the GOAT. All hard work, bro. I saw the documentary.
Busio agreed with me, and many other athletes would as well. Ray Allen has a famous quote when it comes to hard work, not wanting to be told that he has God-given talent because it undermines the work that he puts in. Apdo is one of the rare cases that says that he believes he was mostly born with this level of talent. So why does Apdo say this despite many other athletes and players at the top of their field just like him that say don't disrespect my hard work, and they don't say that I was just born this way? If you think about it, maybe it's just a way of explaining it.
Lamau, is that Ninjago? No, that's Rock Lee.
Maybe it's a really tough thing to understand how and why he's just this good. When you're the best player in a game of more than 100 million players, and you're number 1, how do you quantify that number? This isn't just being the best League of Legends player of your friend group, the best League of Legends player in your neighborhood, in your state, in your city, in your county, in your country. This is not just being top 1%. This is not just hitting Challenger one time and then never doing it again. This is being consistently ranked number 1 out of more than 100 million people. In the most popular video game of all time, he is the best. That can be very hard to grasp how that must make him feel and how that shapes his thoughts around being as good as he is. For
basically maybe a god complex a little bit, you know? If I was in his scenario, bro, if I was in that case, bro, I would definitely get the god complex.
Apdo, he'll live on forever in League of Legends lore. As long as the game is still around, people will be talking about him. I just hope that one day he does go pro. I hope we have a way of seeing what he's able to do. But at this point, he probably won't. This isn't Season 3 anymore, and now he's getting a little bit older. Which is disappointing that we never got to see just how good he could really be at the competitive stage. But still, he's developed.
But maybe he's good at solo lane, you know? Maybe he's good at the solo play. Maybe he's not as efficient in the team composition with the pro plays and the management and the coaching and the bullshit like that. Maybe he's more like of a free bird, you know? Solo player.
Developed a name for himself that will last forever despite never setting a foot into the competitive scene. Which, if you ask me, is still insane in its own right.
True. Big true. Big true. And that's the video as far as I'm concerned. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm still flabbergasted by the fact that my guy made it to the top. Meta woman got banned for 1,000 years old. For thousands of fucking years. All because of a woman, bro. Guys, just what do you do in that scenario? What do you do in that scenario, you know? Anyway, it is what it is. And that's the video.